Good morning, everyone. It's Luna Bell. Y'all, I speak of things of a sensitive nature, 18 plus trigger warning. This is all for entertainment purposes for TikTok. Y'all, I'm writing a fictional book about my life, okay? My 8th birthday. I'll never forget that, but not for the reason you think. Y'all, I grew up in Columbus, Georgia. I was the youngest of my mama's 5 children. My daddy had more than 5. But anyhow, y'all, I am a victim and a survivor of my mama. I have been essayed and trafficked by my mama from the day I was born. My mama's family is from this area. Thank you for confirmation on my phone. And my daddy's family as well. I grew up in Columbus, Georgia, 100 miles from Atlanta. Keeping in mind that I've been trafficked by my mama my whole life. My 8th birthday, thank you for confirmation, I and the sister above me were allegedly kidnapped. I have memories of being in the back of a taxi cab with my sibling, my sister, and 2 other melanated children, allegedly. I was 8. The sibling above me was like a year and a half, 2 years older than I. The melanated girl, there were 2. One was 6. She was holding her 3-month-old sister. We were in the back of a taxi with the taxi driver in the 304. We were driven around from place to place. I remember trailer parks. Atlanta was only 100 miles from Columbus, y'all. Anyhow, I have memories of when we were brought home in the taxi cab, and they just pulled up. There was no, we were being brought back home, y'all. There was no alleged kidnapping. The police, the lights were there. I remember the flashing lights, and that they pulled the man and the woman, the 304, out. Thank you for confirmation on my phone. Beat the living fuck out of them. And my mama beat my ass all the way up in the house, allegedly. Allegedly, I bet you ain't gonna find a report about this alleged kidnapping. Y'all, I have memories, as I told Mutual, Miss Cindy and Woody, of the connections and being trafficked and essayed allegedly by Iranian generals, Turkish ones from the military, from the Al-Saud, from the Saudi military, high ranking. Anyhow, I also have memories of being taken to Atlanta, to South Carolina, to Alabama, to Florida, allegedly. Thank you for confirmation on my phone. As y'all heard on my channels and all in on receipts and all, I have always been looking for the one at the top. Anyhow, when I started connecting dots with the corruption here locally, it made what was over in Vernon Parish very easy. And as you heard on the receipts, Vernon Parish ain't nothing compared to my story. Because y'all, when I'm looking for that top, I went behind me. I tracked my mama's past, her locations, the activities of things happening, the disappearances, the alleged serial unalivers, like the I-40 that I helped with, that I channeled for 444 on my timer. I left audio channels for Cindy and Woody on the I-40. It's multiple. Just like when I backtracked on my mama Atlanta. Atlanta back in the 70s, 80s. What happened? What happened? Who disappeared? And then next, Miss Cindy, Woody. I didn't share this one with you. I wondered if you noticed it though. I had noticed the shift from East Coast going across the country, going across Alabama, like Panama City Beach. My researcher lady, pay attention here to the patterns now. See, I went across from Georgia on the East Coast, Atlanta, Columbus, Alabama, Florida, 1980. Y'all look at those aerial shots of PCB. Who started getting bids for road build-up, road improvement? Who started getting the government contracts? What cities started building up? Who started selling this and that? Y'all see where I'm going with this network that expands, that I've tracked? The alleged serial nature of some that ain't. One moment. See, I gave many predictions, a lot of channeled information. One of the common visions that I only had for Mutual and Miss Cindy and Woody, well, the last vision I shared with you, I mentioned that I was seeing horses, ATVs and all that on your property. See, y'all, I have visions. I've given warnings before for people over there in Vernon Parish, for Morgan, for Mutual, Miss Cindy and Woody. But apparently, this is exactly a creek bed 1 mile back from Miss Cindy and Woody's window. I've never been there. But I saw the vision of the ATVs, the horses, and the men in uniform, whatnot. That sounds like a bust, allegedly. It is, of course, predicted. This is all for entertainment. But see here now, the other visions I had, some of the ones that they had in common. Miss Cindy said that it was one of the areas that I described. I described someone being monitored, being watched from a wooded area. Miss Cindy said it was allegedly the woods across from Morgan's home. I've also had visions of things about Mutual's wooded area and eyes on them, etc., etc. Those ATVs, those horses, all the other vehicles I didn't tell you about. That's predictive. Now, the last thing I'll leave you with is what Spirit led me to this morning. This is what he said. What is the price of your Judas betrayal? Okay? He said, the nations have fallen into the pit they have made. Their foot isn't caught in the net of their own making. You got your foot caught in the net, cast by Spirit. Many blessings to you. Blessed.